Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Banter with Brooke. Thank you so much for joining me today. Episode number 70. I am feeling great, feeling good, feeling ready to go. I was making sure the microphone was on. My name is Brooke. I am the host of this podcast, and thanks for clicking on my channel. Also, thank you for so much support on my last podcast episode. It really means the world. And hello to all my new subscribers. I'm glad you guys subscribed, and I hope you guys will enjoy the content I continue to create. So I am in my little Disney comfy. I'm ready to go. This is probably the latest I've ever filmed. It is literally, let me look. Yeah, it is 1:55 in the morning, and I don't know why I'm filming so late. It's because I put it off, if I'm being honest with you. But that's besides the point. I am feeling energized and ready to go. As you can see from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about life lessons learned from nature. And I also want to give a shout out to my sister Morgan, because she gave me this podcast topic suggestion. So shout out to you. And I've just been feeling very peaceful in my life recently, or I've been trying to just be more at peace. I just really am deep diving into my spirituality. I mean, I've always been spiritual. You guys have heard me say many, many things on here before, but I genuinely just really want to hone in on it and be, is that the right word? I don't know. I feel like I've heard people say that before, but I just really want to deepen my spiritual growth, I guess you could say. And I want to really just be more at peace and more appreciative, even though I do express my gratitude a lot. Whatever. I've been reading a lot of spiritual books, and I want to get into those. The one I'm reading right now is called The Four Agreements. I love learning about spirituality and different spiritual ways to benefit your life. So, and one of the main things to help you be more spiritually balanced and at peace with yourself is by nature and being outside and doing a bunch of different things. And nature teaches you a lot of valuable things. So the first thing I have written down is that the seasons changing represents that good times will come. Like every time, that is such an important lesson, because every time in life when you're feeling down or depressed or whatever, just remember that that is always temporary and the good times will come again. And so the seasons changing teaches us that, because in the winter it's all gloomy and dark and cold, but every single year springtime comes around, summer comes around, and it's warm and sunny and colorful, all the flowers and the trees, and it happens every year. So it always gets better. It'll always be temporary. The good times are always just around the corner. And yeah, I think that's a very important thing that nature teaches us, is that good times the good times will always come, whether they don't feel like it, whether it takes a little bit of time. It always does happen. Second thing is that winter equals rest. And I think just the way, especially women, how we you're supposed to listen to your cycle and do different things, different physical activity, eat different foods during each phase of your cycle. That is the same thing with life. In winter, summer, spring, fall, you should be doing things differently. And winter equals rest. Again, what I was saying with the seasons changing about how the bad times, and no, there is no bad times in nature. There's bad times mentally, but I was just using winter as like the example of you having a bad time mentally because it's cold and dark and whatever in the winter. I personally love the winter. It's very calming because it does allow me to feel, because winter equals rest. It allows me to feel okay and not as guilty for resting. And I just feel like winter is, like I was saying, how it's dark and cold. Exactly. It's cold. So that means you should stay inside more and rest. And also, animals hibernate in the winter. The trees lose their leaves. Everything pauses and slows down to prepare for spring and summer. So, and that's same for human beings. During the winter, when nature is literally slowed down and taking a pause and breathing, taking a moment to breathe, you should do the same, because listen to nature. It's telling you to chill out. And so if you are a person who feels unmotivated or sad or a little bit lazier during the winter, that is completely normal, and don't let anyone make you feel bad for that, because that's just, it's literally what you're supposed to do. So the third thing I wrote down, and I honestly think is one of the most important things, is that nature is never in a rush. I feel like society nowadays, everyone is focused on, like, everything is fast. Like, there's fast food. People are always constantly in a rush to get here to do this. Or when people have like dreams that they want to follow and stuff, they like want it, like, people want things now. Like, they want things right away. Nobody ever wants to wait or whatever. And I just think that's so harmful and toxic. Like, I hate that everybody's in a rush. Like, I just want to relax and be happy. And nature, literally, notice how it's never in a rush, but everything always gets accomplished. The leaves always come back on the trees. The animals, they always eat, they always whatever, like, nature. But no matter how long it takes, nature, it always gets accomplished in nature. And you need to remember that as well. Like, don't rush your dreams or whatever and be like, I need it now. Just appreciate the journey. It's not all about the destination. I think that's also what nature shows us too, is it's never about the destination, it's about the journey. And that is, like, the seasons changing and things taking, like, flowers taking their time to bloom. And I just think that it's very important for humans to remember as well. We're the only species that is like that. No one else is in a rush. And people are too lazy to cook, or they don't want to take the time to. So they're like, oh, I'm just going to get fast food. Everyone just wants to take the shortcut to things and take the easy way out, take the shortcut, the quicker route. And sometimes it is worth it to cook for yourself. It is worth it to take the longer route. It's worth it to, or if you're like, sometimes even when people are in conversations, they just are trying to rush the conversation to have it be over. And it's like, it's just important to slow down and take in everything. People are always like thinking so onto the next thing that they're just rushing and rushing and rushing to get to the next thing, but they're not actually present in what they're doing in that current moment. My mouth is so freaking dry. Nothing hits better than cold water at 2 a.m. But seriously, no one's focused on the present anymore. Everyone's always just jumping to the next thing. And I think it's super important to be present in life. So yeah, nature is never in a rush, and you shouldn't be either. Next, nature is ever changing. Everything is changing always, especially, but I think it's important for people to remember that human beings are ever changing as well. Our appearance, our physical like appearance is always changing. Our interests are changing, our hobbies are changing, our styles are changing, our mindsets are changing as we're learning new things every day. And same with nature. There's so many different, first of all, so many different animals that are always evolving and adapting, and plants as well. And the weather is always, every day it's, next day it's sunny, next day it's rainy, next day it's windy. There's so many change, like it's changing every day. Every single day is different. The temperature, the whatever. And I think it's important to embrace change, and it is something that I'm still actively working on. I am not very good at dealing with change. I am somebody who likes to live in my comfort zone, but I'm realizing that I might regret that and I don't want to. I also think, though, that everybody does things at their own pace and is ready to do things at their own time. So I also don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I also feel like I won't regret. Like, I'm just like living with the flow. You know what I mean? I'm going with the flow. I think things will happen for me how they're supposed to, when they're supposed to. And I truly, firmly believe that. So I'm not too worried, but I don't want to look back when I'm like 50 and 60 and realize how many things I didn't do because I was too nervous or anxious to do it. So I think I need to break out of my comfort zone more and be willing to change. And sometimes it's just hard because, like I'm saying, it's your comfort zone. It's called a comfort zone because it's where you're comfortable. And it is hard to be uncomfortable. Nobody likes to do it. But I do think it is important for change and things like that. So nature teaches us. Oh my God, there's like this red bump on my leg. Okay, that's a little strange. But nature is always changing and humans are too. So just remember that. And it is okay to change. Like, I see this all the time with like influencers, like their fans, like if they were fans from them, like fans of them like years ago, and then now they're starting to like change their content and they're like, oh, we miss the old you, like you've changed, like all this stuff. It's like, yeah, because they're a fucking human being. Are you the same person you were 5 years ago? I don't think so. So to expect that of somebody else, like, well, they followed, like, the fans, a lot of fans argue, they're like, well, we followed, like, they followed you for that certain type of content. So if you're not going to post that content, then like whatever. And it's like, okay, then leave then. Like, this person's going to post what they want to post. Like, I get like your fans are the ones who are making you money. Like, if nobody watched you, you wouldn't even be making money. So I get like wanting to cater your content like to what your viewers want to see because they're the ones who are supporting you. But at the same time, you have to go with what your heart feels as well. Like, if they don't feel like posting the same content every day for 5 fucking years straight, then that's fine. If you don't like it, you can unfollow them. Like, I always constantly am asking you guys for podcast suggestions or video suggestions, and I will take them into consideration. I'm always asking my friends as well, do you have any video ideas for me? But also, I'm going to make what I want to make as well as taking suggestions. So I just think people need to realize more that everybody's changing all the time and that it's okay. You shouldn't want to hold somebody in a bubble because that's how they were 4 years ago, 5 years ago. They are allowed to change and grow because every single day you're becoming more of yourself, and you gain new experiences, new things, and that's just a completely normal part of life. So this next one is in all caps. I wrote, "We are nature." Like, I think people forget because of especially social media nowadays, and it's horrible. Like, I'm a part of the problem. I literally am on my phone so much of the day. Also, though, it is still winter and it's cold. Honestly, during the summer, I am not on my phone. I'm outside doing things. And when I'm with my friends, like when I'm with people, I am not on my phone. I'm very present in the moment. But I cannot lie. When I'm by myself and I'm just sitting on the couch or in my bed, I am on my phone. And I do want to stop doing that. I have hobbies. I just will sit on my phone and not do them. Like, I, excuse me, I need to read. I want to start reading more again, which I did start reading. I finished a book the other day and I picked up the Four Agreement. Oh my God. Was that a hiccup? I hope it's not a fucking hiccup. I have no idea what that was. But I picked up the Four Agreements. I like to color. I like to make bracelets, like friendship bracelets. I like to paint. So there is things I like to do, and I need to just do those when I have nothing to do instead, of being on my phone. So, but yeah, because of social media and because of phones and technologies, I think people get very disconnected from nature, and we are nature. Like, it always baffles me when I hear people being like, I hate to go outside. Like, they just always want to be inside and like play video games and be on a screen. And it really is like disheartening because literally we are nature. Like, what do you mean you don't want to go outside? Like, our ancestors, like, we are outside. Like, what do you even mean? Like, there wasn't even anything. We are, and like, we are part of this system. We are born, and we like, I am going to fully raise my kids in nature, outside, constantly. Different flowers, different animals, different, like, my kids, like, every day when the weather's nice, we are going to be outside and we're going to, like, I just hate that people say they don't like to be outside, or they don't like, we are part of everything. We everything is nature, and we are even alive. Like, nature is what keeps us alive. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the all of it is nature. And I don't know how we got here from nature, to be honest. I don't know how we got to fucking TikTok and money and fucking capitalism and fucking stupid shit from mountains and rivers and oceans and fields. Like, I don't get how we got here this so just disconnected from nature and peace. And just a reality check and a spirituality check. We are nature. All the things that you are disconnected from is what gives us life and what gives us the sun. Like, we need the sun, we need vitamin D. All of it is what keeps us here. So I think people just need to remember that more and appreciate that more. Next thing is that everything has a purpose, and that is for human beings as well. Everybody has a purpose, but how that relates to nature, everything has a purpose, is because every type of tree has a different purpose. There's lemon trees, there's apple trees, like, trees have different reasons or different things. Also, there's different kind of trees for different animals live in different type of trees. There's different different biomes for different, there's deserts, there's mountains, there's all of the different places, and each area has its own purpose. Every animal has a purpose. There's the food chain. Animals, like different animals eat each other, and there's different plants. So many plants have so many like medicinal values and beautifulness. Like everything has its role. Like bees pollinate the flowers, but they also provide honey, and they also like every single thing in nature has a role and a purpose, and that is true with humans. And a lot of people, I feel like they only think they only think that their, oh my god, I just spit heavily. They think that their purpose is like financially or career wise. They think that if their purpose is to make money and be successful in their like job, and that is not everybody's purpose. That's what society tells you, but you don't have to live by society's rules. Society is literally like the dumbest shit. Like I was just saying, how people are so disconnected from nature. Literally, your purpose is to just live. You don't have to do anything or be good at a certain thing to have value. You being alive is your purpose. Do you know how many, I saw a thing like the chance of you being alive is like 1 in something billion, I'm pretty sure. Like the fact that you're here and we are all here and existing and living at the same time is your purpose. The fact that you were chosen to be born means that you are here for a reason. No matter what you do on this earth, you will do things and learn things, and that's the purpose. The purpose is to experience. Everybody's purpose is to learn and experience, and because I believe that we are all souls just in a human body. And so our experience as a soul is to just live the human experience and just to learn things and gather information, and just remember that you have a purpose, and it doesn't have to be financially. Your purpose is not financial. Your purpose is to learn and experience things and to do things that make your soul happy. Dude, I like cannot even speak anymore. My throat is so dry, but I'm going to push through. That's what I get for waiting until literally 2 a.m. to start filming this. So my bad. What else? Oh, okay. Going from people feel disconnected from nature. People often feel lost and disconnected from nature, from each other, from whatever. And in nature, every individual thing is part of a larger system. And an example of this in nature is that each drop of water in the ocean is equally important to make up the whole ocean. Like each particle of water is making the ocean. Each animal in the ocean, each fish, each plant, all the coral reefs, everything is all equally as important to make the ocean. And that is same with you. If you feel disconnected from people or from life or from anything, just remember that you as an individual is so important to the whole system. Like you being here, you are contributing to the whole system, and everybody is equally as important. You don't have to be rich, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be this, you don't have to be that. You just have to be yourself, and you being yourself is a part of the system. You are a part of the world, you are a part of the universe, you're part of nature. And just remember that when you feel disconnected, just remember that you're here and everybody else is here. And even if you don't know anybody, you don't know the person, you don't know, like, we are all here and we're all a part of the big system. And I think that the ocean is a perfect example. Everything is equally as important to make up the ocean what it is. So all of us are equally as important to make the world and make society what it is. Next one is that nature is collaborative, and that goes perfectly with the ocean. Everything in the ocean collaborates together to make up the ocean. Animals, a lot of animals live in packs or live in a group of crows is called a murder. There's schools of fish. All the fish travel together. Like wolf packs, all the wolves stick together. Everything works together. Even plants too. Some plants are like, if you plant this plant next to this plant, they'll help each other. Or, there's just so many things. And I think as humans, we work better together if we collaborate with one another. I've said this in another episode. The key to I think the key to life is love and connection. And I think just connecting with one another and bonding with other human beings is the purpose of life. Because like I said, I believe in souls. Like, we are just souls. And I think energy can never die or be created. Like, we are just energy, and we are here to connect with people and share energies and good vibes. And another thing, how nature is collaborative, is what the water, plants make, release oxygen for us to breathe, and the sun nourishes those plants. You put plants out into the sun to get nutrients, and water as well. Water is what keeps things alive. You need to water plants. If it doesn't rain for a while, the grass gets dry and dead. And they all work together to make nature what it is. The sun, the plants, the water, they all collaborate. The animals, because you need, like I said, even bees, like, you need bees to pollinate the flowers, and you need, and some different plants produce different foods, which animals eat different, like squirrels eat acorns. So that tree collaborates with the squirrel to give it food. And literally just everything constantly works together. And that is how humans should be. I think even the people who say that they're alone and they like to be alone, I like to be alone too. Like, I love my alone time, don't get me wrong. But I would go, that's why like solitary confinement is like such a punishment, because like in prison and stuff, because people need connection. People will genuinely go insane if they spend a certain amount of time isolated from people and things and everything. So just remember that nature is collaborative. And I think for humans to be good and to have a peak level of whatever, I think they need to work together as well. Another thing that nature teaches us is patience and perseverance. It teaches us patience because, like I said, especially even like plants or like a garden and stuff, plants take a lot, sorry guys, it is now currently 2:24 a.m. and I'm starting to feel delusional and my throat hurts so bad. It doesn't hurt, but like, it's getting really dry. And I know you guys can hear it in my voice and see it in my eyes that I'm getting tired. But flowers take a long time to bloom, but they always bloom. So be patient. And perseverance too. A lot of just things go wrong. even in nature, like natural disasters and stuff, like if a tornado happens, if this happens, if that happens, what is it? There's always, what's the saying? There's always whatever after the storm, or there's no rainbow without rain or whatever. So you need the bad things to experience the good. I don't even know if that makes sense or has anything to do with perseverance, but y'all know what the fuck I mean, and you know what I got going on. Ooh, next thing, it teaches us to appreciate our individuality, because there's so many different animals, and there's so many different plants, and there's so many different, and they're all equally as beautiful. Elephants are beautiful, giraffes are beautiful, birds are beautiful, cats, dogs, rabbits, snakes, spiders, monkeys, you fucking name it, they're all so different, and they all have their purpose, and everybody is different as well. Imagine how boring it would be if there's only one kind of tree, one kind of flower, one kind of this. Life would be actually so boring and miserable, and I would hate it. So appreciate that everybody's different. I don't like that everybody wants to be each other. They're jealous of, oh, this person has this, so I want it too. Or this person looks like this, so I want to look like that too. It's like, no, be yourself. Why do you want to look and act like somebody else? Appreciate your individuality, and nature shows us that, because every flower is different, but every flower is beautiful in its own way. And you need to remember that the next time you think of, oh, I'm jealous, I want that because this person has it, think, I don't need it, I can just be myself. Next thing is everything unfolds at its own time. I already kind of said that with like the never in a rush and stuff. Like everything happens slowly. Some plants, let's say, yeah, some plants it takes them a few weeks to bloom. Some plants it takes them a few months, or like in a garden, like even if you're growing like vegetables and stuff, sometimes it takes a long time for a plant to ripen or grow. Or the weather too, you can never control how the weather is going to be. It just unfolds how it unfolds. Like you can't control how or when things happen. It just, everything does it at its own time. And that's important for us to remember as humans, because everything we want and desire, if you believe that something will happen, it genuinely will. Like you have the power to create your own reality, but you just have to remember that it's going to happen at its own time. Believe it will happen, and it will happen, but nature shows us that everything unfolds at its own time. So for some people it happens quicker, and for some people it takes longer. But guess what? Embrace your individuality. Don't be jealous and don't compare because it happens sooner for this person. Just remember that everything unfolds at its own time. Next thing that nature teaches us, which I also kind of goes with the rush as well, is the power of stillness. Have you ever been out in nature and you just sit there and just listen to the quietness? That's why I could never live in a city, because it's never quiet. Like there's just always something going on. And there's no trees. There's no, like, I need to be in nature. I would love to live like in the middle of nowhere, but it is just if you ever have the opportunity, just please go outside and just sit there, and just not in a city, somewhere where there's grass and trees and you can be quiet and listen to the stillness, listen to the rustling of the leaves of the trees in the wind, listen to the birds chirping, listen to, if you're by like a lake, listen to the waves of the water, and just be still. Everyone just never wants to be still. They want to just move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing, go, 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 go. but just be still and relax and embrace the quietness and the calmness. I feel like if a lot of people had the opportunity to just slow down and sit for 10 minutes, even just in nature, how much it would really calm you down and calm your nervous system down. Because that's it too. Like a lot of people, when you're depressed, go outside. Like it genuinely releases whatever chemical, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, one of them, maybe all of them. I don't know, but it releases a chemical in your brain. Like we actually need to be outside for our well-being. Next one is a quote I found, and it said, "Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop." I feel like that's true for hobbies that no longer serve you, people that no longer serve you. Like if you're around people that are just horrible and draining your energy, let the leaves drop. Let them say goodbye. If you're doing things that are toxic, like if you are like, I don't know, doing things to harm yourself, like vaping or things like that, let it go. Just drop the dead leaves. It is 2025, and this is the year of becoming the best, most healthiest, happiest versions of ourselves. So drop the dead leaves, drop the people and the things that no longer are serving you. Next one is missing out on the joys of nature is missing out on the joy of being alive. That goes with we are nature. If you like missing out on being outside and being swimming in a lake, tanning in the sun, sitting in the grass, looking at flowers, picking flowers, you're missing, like, that is the genuine like point of being alive. The point of being alive is not to sit in your house and play video games and sit on your phone, which I am a victim of sitting on my phone. But that's not what life is. Being out, not going outside and spending time in nature truly is missing out on some of the best parts of being alive. So that's not really a lesson that nature teaches you, but just like a feeling you will be missing out on if you don't spend time in nature. The next thing is there are always flowers for those who want to see them. And that is a quote that I found as well. And that one is so true because a lot of people just whatever the opposite is of living life with rose-colored glasses, people have the opposite. Everything they do or see, they just always view it in a negative light, and they just think everything's horrible. But if they spent the time and looked around, they would see the flowers. Like there's, for anybody who, or even like spiritually, if whoever wants to, or any opinion, anything ever, if you want to see it, you can find it. Like the flowers are always there. If you just open your eyes and look, like you will find what you're looking for. So there's always flowers. There's always something positive. There's always things that will help you out and make you more positive if you just open your eyes and see them. And they're right there. There's always flowers. There's always something good around the corner. You just need to look for it and just open your eyes. And the last thing I wrote down is that everything is unique and beautiful. Goes with appreciate your individuality. Like I already said, everything looks different. Every animal looks different, especially dogs. There's so many different breeds of dogs, but they're all so unique and beautiful. There's so many different flower species, but everything is unique and beautiful. And that teaches us that every human is unique and beautiful. And express your own self, be unique, be yourself. There's no reason ever to not want to be yourself. I think the people who are so niche and unique are more interesting, and I would rather be their friend. So just remember that everything in nature is unique and beautiful, and humans are part of nature. And we are also all unique and beautiful. So those were everything I had written down for life lessons learned from nature. And I literally love nature. I love bugs. I love animals. I love plants. I love the sun. I love the lake. I love water, the ocean. I appreciate nature so much, and I can't wait for it to be warmer outside so I can spend more time in nature. I want to literally make myself go outside every single day. And it's just, nature is so beautiful and glorious. And I just wanted to make this episode to show you guys too that there's so many little things in nature that just can make you happy and teach you things if you just open your eyes and look. So my advice for this episode, as you know, I have a little advice segment at the end of each episode where I give you guys a piece of advice, motivational quote, or a positive little piece of advice, whatever it is. And I wrote 2 things down today. The first one is spend time in nature. That one's just fucking obvious. I think spending time in nature, one, will make you realize things. It can make you realize a couple of the things that I've written down this episode already. Some of the lessons, if you just open your eyes and look around at nature, it can teach you things. But also it helps your mental health. It helps you feel more calm, makes you feel more peaceful. So I would say to spend time in nature and pay closer attention was the second thing I wrote. Spend time in nature and pay attention to the details. Look at the bugs, look at the flowers, look at the grass, and just pay attention to it, how beautiful and how every single thing has a crucial role in the whole entire system. So wherever you are, if it's warm where you are now, just pay attention. If you live in a where it's cold still and it's not spring or summer yet, like me, just remember when it gets warm out to just pay close attention to the nature around you and go outside, because it truly, truly will help you be more calm and teach you important lessons. So thank you for watching this week's episode of my podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned some things. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the post notifications on as well. Also, links to my other social media accounts are always in the description, so you can go follow me on those. And look, I got my little bugs right here. Butterfly, the bee, the flowers, even though those are Lego flowers, but I love Legos. And sorry if towards the end I was getting a little delusional and tired. You bet your ass I'm going the fuck to sleep. So love you all. See you next time, and appreciate nature.